And how did it work out for you in LA? What was it like?
I spent about 5 years out there, and it was a crazy adventure to be able to, I went from San Diego to San Antonio to San Francisco. I went from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. I went from Arizona to Edmonton, Alberta, doing paid gigs with a camera. And so it gave me like a really strong sense of adventure and empowerment and accomplishment.
Yeah.
And sure, I worked on some schlocky stuff, but I worked on some amazing, moments in television and for some pretty incredible people too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what brought you back to Connecticut?
I actually ended up getting an offer to produce for HGTV. So I came back to do that, and then I picked up a gig with the NHL on Versus, which is now NBC Sports Group. So by keeping my LA cell phone number, I kind of became the go-to guy for a while there. And I got amazing opportunities just knowing the basics of TV production and how to handle a video camera. And it brought me to Montreal for the hockey playoffs, Boston for the hockey playoffs. I did the US Open in New York. The Home and Garden shows that I did brought me all up and down the East Coast. So it's not just about like, oh, I can turn this on and kind of make a decent image. It's like the kind of connectivity on a human level that I was able to enjoy.
Yeah.
It's almost like I can't describe how amazing it all was.
Yeah. That's pretty darn cool.
Well,
So I feel like with all that...
I have my mistakes too, but I'm not going to tell you about those.
That might make for some good TV. So with all of this traveling around LA, Las Vegas, coming back here to the East Coast, I feel like there's got to be at least one good story in there somewhere.
It's funny, the moment that I think about the most, especially now that things are so much more sort of web-based and YouTube-based and going that direction, I was shooting with the host of Amazing Race, Phil Kogan, on a show he did for the Discovery Channel called No Opportunity Wasted. And it was like a show that challenged people to get over their fears and sort of live adventures in 3-day segments. And so we had to shoot some cinematic stuff in the Rocky Mountains. Tough gig. So we had the helicopter and we had
really twisted your arm.
It was just terrible, yeah. Beautiful spring day, most amazing scenic, shots you can imagine, the Rocky Mountains and fields and da-da-da. And then it started snowing. And it was like Charlie Brown snow.
Yeah.
And so we had to stop, the helicopter had to land, and for like 30 minutes we just ran around like catching snowflakes on our tongues and getting paid.
Yeah.
And it was like one of those Zen moments where you're like, this is my life, how do I do more of this? So that was probably my favorite moment.